Hello, welcome to another episode of Better Health Through Live Food. Today we're going to make some chocolate. Chocolate, as you know, is very popular, and most chocolate that you buy are heated and often has a lot of the nutrients being killed or destroyed. So this recipe is very simple. Normally, if you think about chocolate, what are the ingredients in it? You've got milk fat, you've got cacao powder, you've got cacao butter, and you've got some form of sugar. So you need the fat, you need the sugar, and you need the cacao powder. So those are the three basic ingredients. So today this recipe is very easy, you don't even need to write it down. It's just three ingredients: cacao butter, cacao powder, and agave nectar. So this will make it sweet. Again, we use the Loving Earth brand, which is 100% raw. Most agave nectar, as you know, is being heat treated. Raw cacao powder, which is another superfood. Obviously, you can't have too much of it because anything, having too much it can be addictive. And then cacao butter. Now, cacao butter comes like that in chunks. Now, we in pharmacy school, we used to use this to make suppository. The interesting thing about this is it actually melts in our body temperature. So it is a solid in room temperature, but when we consume it or when we put it in our mouth, it dissolves. But it holds everything together, so it makes your chocolate very firm and hard. You can use coconut oil instead. If you use coconut oil, the chocolate will be a lot softer, and you probably have to keep it in the fridge. Otherwise, it will melt. Cacao butter comes from the cacao pods, same as cacao powder. So three ingredients. Now what I've done is I've taken these and I'll put it in a bowl and put it in a dehydrator, the Sedona dehydrator, and at 45 degrees Celsius. And that turns into a liquid. So as you know, as you can see, it's liquid here. So I've got 200 grams of cacao butter, 200 grams of cacao powder, and 200 mils of agave nectar. So it's really quite simple. You just put all the agave nectar in there. Now, I've tried using honey. It doesn't work very well because honey is very thick, and it actually it crystallizes as well. So it doesn't work very well with honey. So you just mix the, this is basically your sugar and your fat. Mix it up. If you're diabetic, then obviously you can use stevia or probably xylitol. So just turn it into a liquid. Now to warm it up, you can use oven. Or you can just put it in a bit of hot water, just to melt it, and then just mix in the cacao powder. So all you put in mouth. Now this will be over 60% chocolate, because cacao butter is also considered as chocolate. So it'll be more like 70%. You can also put some, dry fruits if you like, some raisin. You can also mix in, maybe even cayenne pepper if you want it hot. Just anything, even nuts. You can chop up your nuts and mix it in as well. So whatever you fancy. And this is the real dark chocolate, which has all the nutrients and all the good benefit of chocolate. This is how chocolate should be. You know, the challenge obviously is to try to make it nice and smooth. And then you have to get some mold. I've got 3 different types of mold here. The hard, a little fish, a little butterfly, just some silicone mold. And just pour it into the mold and then put it in the fridge to harden. And once it's hardened, you can take it outside and leave it in just a normal room temperature, and that should be fine. So it's quite simple, 3 ingredients, equal amount. So I'm making quite a large batch. So normally if you want to, you could probably use 100 ml of agave nectar, 100 gram of cacao butter, 100 gram of cacao powder, and that would make 300 grams of dark chocolate. So nice and smooth. Now that when it cools down will be a solid. Now what you can also do with these is if you don't use say cacao butter, if you use coconut oil or coconut butter, that's another name for coconut oil, you can then put it in a jar, which you can use it as a drinking chocolate or even as a spread, because it's a lot more liquidy. See, can you imagine like spreading this on your sandwich? That is like your Nutella. So instead of using cacao butter, which hardens into a solid, if you use coconut oil, obviously if it gets too hard, you can probably put in some flaxseed oil as well, and that would always stay as a very more liquidy in room temperature, and you can use it as a spread. And if you use that in a hot drink, you can make it into a hot drinking chocolate as well. So it's just a matter of pouring that into here, into the mold, and spreading it. Hopefully there's no air bubbles. So it's very easy to make. Another alternative to agave nectar is coconut sugar, which is a whole food, or even Rapadura sugar. Rapadura sugar is evaporated cane sugar, so it's a whole food as well. See, what they do is they take the sugar cane and then they filter, and then what is taken out of sugar cane is all your minerals, your enzyme, all your nutrients, and that becomes molasses. Yeah, so Rapadura sugar is a whole food. It has all your nutrients in it, so that would be much better than the normal type of refined sugar. But obviously Rapadura sugar doesn't look as nice, and that's why they make refined sugar, which looks good, but it's very nutrient poor, and in fact very acidic to your system. So this is what it looks like once you're finished. Get it nice and smooth. I like a spatula that's sort of flat on this side, and this is good for this sort of bowl because it's got a rounded edge. very easy to do. And I'll just put it in the fridge and let it set. Okay, now we've done the next one, which is the little fish, and we're onto the butterfly. So whatever mold you can get, you can just fill it up. Now, as you know, it's all very soft now, but because it's heated. Once it's cooled down, it's going to be all hardened. So when we consume it, it melts in our mouth. And it has the fat, the sugar, and the chocolate or cacao, which is what most people like. It's amazing that we crave for sugar, fat, and salt. No one actually get up in the middle of the night to go to the petrol station to buy broccoli or spinach or salad. But if you walk into the service station, all you see is all the processed food, full of sugar, full of fat, full of salt, isn't it? That's what people crave for. But this is a very healthy option. But again, it is also a treat. You shouldn't be eating a lot of this every day. Okay, this one has been in the fridge for about 2 hours. As you can see, it has hardened into little hearts. There we go. Or you can have butterflies or fish. Different ones, or different shape, and then we wrap it up like this nicely, and that's our very nice, beautiful dessert with three simple ingredients: cacao butter, cacao powder, and agave nectar. So nice and simple, and it's not heated. It's all raw with the nutrients. So it's a nice healthy treat. Obviously you can't have too much of this because it's quite a rich food. So that's it. Nice and easy. There you go. Beautiful dark chocolate.